don't be at all surprised. I'm a little bit full of a cold today. So I've got a bit of a red nose. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. It's got nothing on me. I've got a very red nose and yes, and I've been sniffling. I think I'm all right apart from that. I'm sure it'll be gone really soon, she says as coughs into blanket. So how have you been? How are you? I've been a bit. This week it's been a bit of a difficult week for me, apart from the cold and the red nose and everything, and all of that. It's weird. I don't know whether you can see there. There's a bit of a sort of patch there. That's where a plaster was, and the reason I put the plaster there, which immediately I had a big red mark from the plaster for about a day. It was quite sore, and the reason that I had the plaster is I don't even know. You can't even see. There's like the tiniest little dot. Hello, Philip. Tiniest little dot in the middle of my cheek, which has been there for a couple of weeks. It's not even a spot. It's just like a dot, and I was like, fine. But I just sort of scratched it or something this week, and I kept putting plasters on it. It kept filling up. I was like, is that fine now? I'm all fine. It didn't hurt at all. It was like, la, 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 la. And then somebody would say, what's happened to you? And I'd be like, what? And then I looked down and I was wearing a mask at the time. So I looked in the mask. It was like, and then I looked down. It was like, basically, it was, in Carrie, that was my face. Now, that is the punchline to one of my jokes from a long time ago. It turns out, yeah, it's not that. I mean, it was based on a true story when I did it as a punchline, but it's a different thing because it's ages ago when I used sandpaper instead of dermabrasion because I thought that was a good idea. It basically the same thing happened there, but this time, yes, you can probably see the dot. Maybe you can see the mark where the plaster is. But this time, it was just ridiculous because it was like, I can't you see it. And every time I was like, oh, it's fine now. Just really, it was like, is it Sam Peckinpah? Have you ever seen Salad Days? Monty Python sketch? Basically like that. It was awful. I just had to put all my clothes in the washing machine when I came home. It was just like, how did this happen? I do not know. I have no idea what caused it. And then just like that, it just stopped. But I still had a big mark from the plaster. So I've been in the wars this week, and now I've got a cold, and now I'm just going to snuggle up and have a little sleep. Boy, no, I'll stay here for a little bit longer. So this has been good. I've just been Christmas shopping today from the comfort of my own house. It's not my house, it's somebody's house, the house that I pay rent for. And I've been sitting there and I've been la, I'm going to buy that. So I bought all sorts of stuff and I've sent it to Wales. So even if I don't go to Wales, I'm supposed to go on Saturday, this Saturday coming. But I'm a little bit worried, what with everything. Apparently, at this very second, there's an announcement from the Prime Minister. And I don't know what it's going to say. No idea. But I'm hoping it's not like you have to stay home again. Because last Christmas, it was not a great Christmas for a lot of people. For me, I didn't go home. I didn't go anywhere. And I ended up having I don't even know why. I must have eaten something bad. I didn't have any alcohol or anything, but I must have eaten something bad the day before Christmas because Christmas Day, I was just so ill. I was just like, this is my Christmas blanket from last year. And this was my present. And it saved me because I could just snuggle up like this on the sofa. And that's what I did all day. And then I saw in the evening I think Soul, that's what Soul, watching Soul on the Disney Channel, Disney Plus, was the only thing that I did last Christmas and it was like, oh, at least I've done something. What a heartwarming, a little bit depressing, fair enough, but what a heartwarming film. And I still had a headache at the time. I still was like, sort of like looking at it through. But so I'm hoping that doesn't happen this Christmas. It was just random. I don't know even what it was. This time I've got a cold. It's a week. It's going to be a week. So hopefully 2 weeks until Christmas even, but a week until I go home. Just under. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be all masked up. I'm all boosted up. I should be fine. But I still caught a cold because the main reason is other people are not wearing you know. And obviously I had to keep this. Maybe it's that's the thing this week, because I had to keep taking the masks off because I had to keep changing them. Maybe that's why I got a cold. Maybe I need a onesie. Yeah, that's a good thing. He said, yeah, is that what he's saying? I don't know what. It's basically there was a party when everybody else was staying at home and not doing anything, or I was just staying home. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. Just to work and home and work, home and work. Can't work from home in the work that I'm in, but there you go. It's fashion now, is it? Oh, a onesie. Well, I got nice presents for everyone. So I didn't get myself a onesie. Maybe I should. Maybe that's my next move. Yeah, I'm hoping that the people who I got presents for will appreciate the presents. But I mean, had a discussion about presents today with Ollie, and it's like, you know, yeah. Or was it yesterday? I can't even remember. It's basically whatever you say you want, somebody will get something else, and then you have to pretend to be grateful. So in the end, it's probably better if I get presents for everybody else, and I'll try. If they don't like them, I'll just have to cope with that. But other people, snowflakey people that they are. Sorry, that's an insult to everyone else in the world. Other people, when they get you a gift and you get them a gift, when they get you a gift, hang on, where am I? Yeah, when they get you a gift and you don't like the gift and you have to go, that's nice. And they're like, put it on now or eat it now. And you're like, and it's not what you wanted. And you have to go, it's great. And they're like, you're showing enough enthusiasm. That's the best present ever. Why don't you show enthusiasm? And you're like, thank you. I'm not a good gift giver. I'm not a good gift getter, if you know what I mean. I'm good at giving gifts. I've got a secret angel thing going on at work where you give a random person you've chosen about 6 weeks ago now. You choose their name, and then you get them a gift every week. So I know the person that I've got the secret angel gift for is like, these are so good. They don't know it's me, but they're like, I'd like to know who's got me these gifts. They're fantastic gifts. And I'm like, yeah, can't reveal. So I'm just like, trying not to reveal it. It's me. It was me all along. But whoever's got the secret angel gifts for me, it's been a little bit sporadic. I got a nice one this week, which was a little tin of travel sweets that had Ladybird Book of time travel on them. So it had a little policeman next to a telephone police call box, like a TARDIS. Now, travel sweets is a rubbish gift on its own. I'm not going to eat the travel sweets. No interest in the travel sweets, but it's a nice tin. So that's nice. But I also got some Maltesers. I specifically said no wheat. Maltesers are like little honeycomb things with chocolate, and I don't really like milk chocolate anyway, but it was like a little packet of Maltesers which are completely made of wheat and milk. So I was like, and out of 6 weeks of presents, I think I got 3, and I've done my bit. So I'm being very ungrateful now. Presents are presents, aren't they? And I got a chocolate coin one week. I like a giant chocolate coin that cost about 25p. Now, I'm very ungrateful, you see. That's why you don't get me gifts, because I don't show enough gratitude. I'm not grateful for gifts, because unless it's exactly what I wanted, I'm just going to be like, that's lovely, thank you. Or, it's too much. If it's really too much, right? Then I have been given things that I'm like, that's amazing. You can't possibly give me that. And I try to give it back to them, and they get very insulted indeed. I'm like, it's like, I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just like, you can't possibly give me this thing that's great, because I'm not worthy. Or one occasion, I remember there was this weird, hook thing. It was like a homemade, sort of made out of fabric. It was like a face on a hook, like a coat hook. And it was like some sort of weird face, like padded, made of silk or something, with a little hat on, and it was creepy as hell. But my auntie had made it apparently when she was young, and it was in my grandmother's house, and my auntie said to me, you can have that. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't have. I don't want it. And they got very insulted that I didn't want it, but it was so scary. That was the reason for that. But another time, a different auntie had got me this nice bracelet that had this sort of big bead, and I tried to give that back because I thought it was too good for me. and they got very insulted. So it's like, I don't know. And also people that have got presents for me that they think are like gold and silver and stuff. I'm just like, didn't ask for that. It's not what I would have wanted. And they get very, very, very insulted. Or I made a joke about something that I didn't really want, but it's like, you know, oh, get me a yacht or something like that. I've not said that, but if I said, you should get me a yacht. Now, I wouldn't actually expect anyone to get me a yacht because that's ridiculous. It would be a joke. But if I said, and I have, if you look back on my whole hello, I can't read that. Chelsea's. Yeah. If you look on my I have on a couple of occasions said, oh, you should get me this thing, which I'm joking. If I ever say get me a present or something, or you should spend loads of money on me or anything like that, please be rest assured that I don't mean it. It's a joke. I'm not expecting people to send me stuff. That would be ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, sometimes people do, that's nice, but it's ridiculous to expect it, really. So don't, like, send me, like, a yacht. And it's like, but you said you wanted a yacht. It's like, no, I didn't say I wanted a yacht. I was joking about the yacht. Don't get me a yacht, because then I'm going to feel guilty that you've spent all your money on a yacht. Yachts are very expensive. Don't send me a yacht. Now that sounds like I'm actually expecting a yacht, but I'm not. Basically, I'm a very ungrateful heathen. The ingratitude oozes out of me very much like my the dot oozed out of me. That's horrible. Going too far. Too much information. Basically, I'm too ungrateful. Don't get me anything. I'm ungrateful. I'm an ingrate. You should just not get me stuff. Like my grandmother. Oh, hello. Yes, that's me. Yeah, you're right. Arani and Shalene. Yes, that's a video game that I did voices for. I did more than that though. That video game I've actually done like Third Slave or something as well. I've done a couple of the minor voices in that. Yeah. But yes, I'm a video game voice. Oh, the versatility as well oozing out of me like all the other stuff. But but basically don't get me stuff because I'm not worth it and I'm ungrateful. Ungrateful because if it's not exactly what I want, I'm going to be disappointed. It's like if you got me a yacht, I'm going to say this now. Even if I did say get me a yacht and you got me a yacht, it would be the right yacht. And I'd go, oh no, that's not the yacht I would have got if I'd have got a yacht, which I can't because yachts cost millions of pounds, stroke dollars, stroke euros, stroke yen, whatever. And I don't have that money. But is it Red Nose Day? Yes, Red Nose Day. I see what you mean. Yes, it's because I've got a cold. So I'm an ungrateful, terrible person. I am aware of this. I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible person. And it will just make me feel worse if somebody gets me something and I know that I haven't shown the appropriate level of gratitude because I probably am not really grateful. I'm touched that somebody gets me. To be honest, this is it. The chocolate coin, it was like, because I didn't get anything in my Secret Angel thing the first week, I was like, oh, I got a mug as well. I've got 4 actually. It's a nice mug, but it's a mug. Yeah, it's like, I'm grateful for getting the thing. The actual shape of the thing is sort of irrelevant because it's like, I'm going to show terrible, I'm going to be so like, that thing's rubbish. Even if it's the best thing in the world, I'm not going to show you any level of happiness. I'm just going to be like, and you're like, why? I spent my life and soul getting that thing for you, and I'm just going to be, So I'm not good at presents. I like getting presents for other people, and I have spent all my money today getting presents for other people, which I like doing. And even if they're not grateful, they probably won't be. I'm not going to be offended because it's like, well, if I was getting these things, I think that they would like them. I think that they would like these things, and if it was me getting them, I would like them if I was that person. I'm not going to get people things that I would like that I know they're not going to like, because that's really bad present giving. I get people things that I sort of like, I think it's good, but that I think that they would like more than I like. Because if it's something that I would like more, then I'm going to keep it for myself. So you're not going to get it anyway. It's going to be something that I think that other person's going to appreciate more than I appreciate it, but I'm going to appreciate it. Because sometimes I bought excellent presents for people and gone, whoa, that's too good. And I've either got another one for me as well, or or they've just got something else. To be honest, I'm a terrible person. I am. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Thank you for asking, Chase. At the moment, I'm just such a lazy person that I'm not. I probably maybe will, but it's the inspiration. I'm busy. So when I did a lot of the films and stuff that I have on the internet, it's either because I was very miserable at work and I needed to do something else, like Vestal Virgin. I was miserable at work, so I needed an outlet. And a lot of the other stuff, it's because I had nothing to do and I needed an outlet. Now at the moment I'm quite busy generally, and I haven't really, and then I get home and I'm like, oh. So I need more sort of thinking time. It's very difficult to be creative when you're not frustrated at work and you also don't have the time. Well, you need either the time, and then when I have the downtime, I just like play video games, like not even good video games, like just sort of like collecting the gem video games, or moving things about video games, or playing stupid fighting games. Not even the ones that you go involved in. The sort of fighting games, it's like, yeah, it's like turn-based. You set up the right team and then you just like go, oh, they didn't win, I better set it up differently. Basically really boring games. I have been not at all creative. I have been a terrible person and I haven't done any of the stuff that I've needed to do. I've meant to write another spooky history thing for a spooky history channel, but they haven't put the one that I made last. So I've just fallen back on that because I'm like, well, obviously they didn't need my script. It's probably rubbish and they're not going to make it. And so I didn't really submit anything else because I'm like, well, I'm too rubbish. I don't know, maybe eventually they will make the last one that I sent them, which was the Hellfire Caves and the spooky history of that. But maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. It's like, oh, this is a good job. That'll be good. And then it never gets made and you're like, oh, I'm terrible. Why am I so awful? Why am I so pathetic? So basically, I have got a little bit of a sort of a mood on. I'm like, ugh. It's like one level. It's not like depression. It's more sort of like, meh. It's meh. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. Meh. I'm not frustrated enough to do anything. I'm not desperate enough. I'm just meh. I'm not. If I was extremely happy and I had a lot going on, maybe I'd do some creative stuff because of that. And if I had time and had the inspiration's a difficult thing. At the moment, the reason I'm not doing as many videos as I should be doing is I'm just like, and then things like happen, like blah 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 blah, and nose and feeling like hell. This is not a strong cold, it's just a mild cold, I think. One can only handle so much, you're quite right. And also, if you do a lot of stuff, like creatively, and it's like, there's only so much stuff you can throw against the wall before it's like, well, none of this is sticking. It's all, and then you're just left with, if you're going to continue that metaphor, if you keep throwing things against the wall and hoping they stick, and they don't stick, and they just slide to the floor, and you just look at the mess that you created on the floor, and you're just like, ugh, because there's nowhere to put the mess, and it's just there, and you're just like, I should clean up that mess. You've made a massive mess, but you're like, oh, maybe the mess will turn into something good, and then it doesn't, and then it just goes all rotten, and flies come, and like it goes all mouldy, and then a black mold comes, and then you get all sort of ill from all the festering pile of stuff that you've thrown up against the wall, and it's slid down, and it's just there, lying there. So that's basically where my life is. I've thrown everything against the wall and none of it's stuck. It's just there festering. I should probably clean that up and start again. And then have a nice blank wall. And I could start again. And then eventually the same thing would happen. Very much like my attitude to haircuts. I wait until my hair gets to about here. I cut it. And people go, oh, I liked it long. And I go, oh, too bad, it's my hair. and then it goes long and they go, oh, I liked it short. And it's like, yeah, it was probably my hair. And then it goes up again, and then it goes down again. And basically my hair is up and down and up and down. And my level of creativity is very much like that. Sometimes I create loads and nothing comes of it anyway, and then I get, ugh. Used to be that probably around the time of my birthday and New Year I would create a lot. Usually New Year I'd be like, no, it's another year and nothing has been done and I'm awful, and I get a spur of creativity, a spurt of creativity, a sort of chasm. A chasm of creativity. It is a chasm. I just throw all the stuff into the chasm and then it never hits the bottom. It's a bottomless chasm that never fills to the top, and then you can't see where all the stuff's at the bottom. This is a mixed metaphor now, nothing to do with the throwing it against the wall. It's down at the bottom of a big deep chasm. That's where me is. That's where me is now. That's where I am at the moment. It's lovely. It's lovely down there. And you can throw the yacht that you're going to get me down there and it'll squish. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the chasm now. I was at the top of the chasm a second ago in this metaphor, throwing things down and seeing where they were. But now I've fallen down to the bottom of the chasm and I'm covered in a yacht and all the stuff that fell off the wall. Basically, that's where I am. Do you do your best things in... Well, possibly. Well, maybe that's the case. But once that's gone, isn't it? It's just, you know, you just, if the greatest things, my greatest hits are behind me and nothing to show from it and nobody responded or cared. I did hear that they're making a British version of Saturday Night Live. Now, that would be ideal for me. I would love to be in Saturday Night Live, and I could do all stuff and be in that. But the chances of me auditioning for that, one, and getting it, two, are slim to non-existent, really. And that would be good. One time, I tried to audition for the Canal Cafe Theatre. They've got like a news review thing, and I auditioned for that. And I was like, really, I prepared stuff. I did a Sarah Palin impression, and I was like, oh, and I got really, and I was like, I think I misunderstood what the brief was, because when I got to, well, the day before, I met some people that I know, and somebody said, oh, no, don't go for that. You're not right for that, which immediately made my confidence in the whole project plummet. And then I went to the actual audition, and that was playing on my mind, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. And then I got there, and they asked me to do stuff. They asked me to do a series of accents, but not just like this. There was just like this piece of text, and I just had to do a different accent for every sentence. And it's not that I can't do accents, it's just I froze. I was just like, I couldn't do it. So I did the Sarah Palin impression, and they said, oh, that was all right. Why did you choose Sarah Palin? It's like, oh, she's back in the news, because she'd been out of the news. She had, you know, been in the news, and she'd been doing other stuff. So I thought, oh, she's sort of semi-current, and I thought I was quite good, and I had a pair of glasses that looked a bit like Sarah Palin's glasses, but they weren't really impressed by that. And the fact that I completely froze in the audition, because one, I'd lost the confidence because somebody said that's not for you, and two, I'd misunderstood what I was supposed to be doing and what the form of the audition was going to be. And three, I just was like, what a stupid thing to do. Why are you making me do this? It's got nothing to do with anything. Whatever. I can do accents. I know I can do accents. Don't make me do it. Under pressure, I sometimes go a little bit like, why? Do you not believe that I can do this? I can do it. You just take my word for it. Am I not trustworthy enough? Obviously, you have to prove yourself. And that's another thing that gets me. Having to prove yourself. You've proved yourself to one group of people. You're like, this is me. You see that I was good all along. You doubted me, and yet. And then the next group of people, you have to do it again. And you have to overcome their prejudice against you and the way that they think about you. And you have to prove yourself again. And I'm like, I just don't have the wherewithal, because I've proven myself time and time again to different groups of people, and then in the end you're just like, this is a losing battle because nobody cares. So this is a depressing little story, isn't it? Yes, very. But I'm gonna have to sign off in a minute because I need a tissue to because I'm getting a little bit like nose is running. Be assured, I have taken many a lateral flow test, and I am as so far, only the one little line has shown up, not the other line that would show bad things. So I'm hopeful, because everybody this is the thing though, almost everybody that I've come into contact with in the last month has had it. You know what I mean, has had it, and I am the only one left, the only one standing that seemingly has not at any point. So I'm like, something weird going on here. It's only a matter of time. The hammer falling, the sort of Damocles, all that sort of thing. Yes, only a matter of time. Yes, the cold. It's just a cold. I hope it goes away too. It's just a cold. I thought, but thank you. I'm gonna just get like a nice hot drink, I think, and just wrap up warm and just warm. That's what I meant, and just snuggle. And put a bit of moisturiser on my nose, so that I am no longer Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And that would be a good idea. And thank you very much for coming and reminding me that I have done things in the past that are worth doing. It's just not for a while. Not for a while. I should probably get back to doing things that are creative and wonderful, even if it doesn't show up. Some people know. Thank you very much. Some people remember stuff that I did, for what it's worth, and does it all matter in the end when we're all at the bottom of the chasm, covered in the rotten stuff we thrown against the wall and a big yacht? Does it matter? Probably not. And on that delightfully optimistic note, I should probably bid you adieu. Oh, that's another thing. I saw Sound of Music again this week, because Ollie, my flatmate, has never seen Sound of Music ever in his life. Ever. And it's quite a depressing thing when you see it as an adult and think through the eyes of somebody that's not seen it and hasn't grown up with this, and realise how many references that he must have missed, because there's a lot of references that people make to Sound of Music, and if you don't know that they're making references, I should think that most of life is probably like, what on earth are you talking about? You wouldn't think that watching Sound of Music is probably the key to life and knowing things and not being confused. Anyway, saw it again this week. Depressing film, and long. But it has to be seen in order to get the references. All right, I will definitely say goodbye now, because I need a tissue. All right then. Doe deer, yeah, female deer. Ra la 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 la. See, well, you should see it, exactly, Philip. You should see it just so that you know what the references are. Okay then, bye bye.